Hello and welcome to this third short lesson on the Teeline Shorthand system. If you haven't already, you should have a look at the two previous lessons as they cover the alphabet and vowels. And if you have looked at those, you should already be learning using Teeline to take notes easily and quickly. My name's Alison, and with my business partner Liz, we started Teeline Online, which is a full theory course on note-taking, Teeline Shorthand. There's also a section on minute-taking and a bit for journalists, so that you can start taking notes easily and quickly. And the more theory you learn, the more shortcuts you'll get, and you'll be able to reach your target of up to 80 words a minute and beyond. So this lesson, we're going to go over blending and some of the special outlines and groupings that we talked about in the last lesson, so that you're going to be able to form even more complicated, well, I was going to say complicated, but they're not complicated, but they're just more involved sentences, so you can start using them in your notes straight away. But of course, anytime you can register with our online course and have an lifetime access to it with all the materials, the dictations, the speed drills, the minute-taking section, and a personal tutor if you want to have one-to-one lessons with. So let's get started with the letters of the alphabet, which I consider are extra letters of the alphabet. So you can just consider them as new forms of the letters because they involve two letters together. And this is C plus M. If you remember, C and M are like that, which if you try to join them is too difficult. So there's an alternative, and that's C plus M, obviously with a vowel in between. So you get words like camp, campaign. And if you remember that an I on the end represents Y, you don't write the Y, you use a vowel to represent the sound E coming at the end of a word. So that would be campaign and company. If I wanted compel, I'm choosing to do the upward L. It's not wrong to do it downwards, and of course your lines are going to be closer together. So you could do it like that, but it will it'll touch the line below or the words below. So if you've got a choice, that's the lovely flexibility of Teeline. If you've got a choice, you should always think, is there an easier way of writing it? Maybe I can do it upwards, and in this case it is a better outline. So the next one is CN, and that's C plus N, which, if you remember, are like that when they're written separately. And again, too difficult to join together. So there's another symbol for writing C and N, and that's writing it in the other direction to the N. So you get words like candle. And if I want to add an S at the beginning, scandal. And that's the most comfortable way to write the S inside that curve. And there's a whole lesson on the S and easy ways of joining the S, because again, there's an alternate way of writing it. You can write it clockwise or anti-clockwise, so you've got the flexibility to decide which way you want to write it. So that would be scandal. Now if I wanted condone, here's the first of the blends that I wanted to talk about, where it's just easier, instead of doing the hook of the N, to join it and make a curve like that. Now that's going to come with speed. So again, the flexibility of Teeline means that you could decide not to learn this section and to just say, well, it's going to happen anyway, so I'll skip out this bit. But if you do learn it and make an effort to do it, it's going to be more comfortable to write it like that in the end. And other versions are, if I joined a C and an R, to blend it together, I make like an umbrella handle, and that's car. And if I do the same with the hook at the end, corn. And talking of N, at the beginning of a W, I just use a hook. So that's now. And if I want to distinguish it between now and new, then I can put the little E in that we learnt last time. That's that half of the full E going the other way, which is rarely used but can be used in this case as to distinguish between now and new and to help you join. So sometimes things are written not just to make it easier to write, but make it easier to read as well. And of course you can write that at the end. So WN would be a hook at the end as well. So that would be went. If I put it on the line, it would be wind. If I add a W, window. Okay, so going back to our special combination letters, you've got CM, a big C, CN, N flipped round the other way, and now PL. And PL, when there's no vowel coming in between, is an L through the line. So this would be plan. Played or plate. So if I wanted polite, I put the L in. So here it's easier to read. You can see immediately there's a vowel in between the P and the L because I've written them separately. Here they blend together and make one letter, PL, together. And what happens if it comes in the middle? Let's say I wanted the word complain. Look how I can shorten it. I write C and M together, I write the PL together, and then all I'm going to add is the N. So I put the L through it. Complain. But again, with compel, there's no need to disjoin it. It's just an ordinary word. You're joining the P and the L together. But here, to indicate that that's P and L, you put the L through. And the final one is SH, which is a longhand S. And that represents S and H together. Shade, shadow, shore, rush, of course it can go on the end, push. And notice how I've slanted the S to make it more comfortable to join to the S without distorting it. So those are the 4 extra letters of the alphabet which you should have a look at. And they always come together, and when they do, there's a quick and easy symbol, there's a quick and easy way of writing it. Okay, I just want to briefly show you, and again this is a whole lesson in with S, on F blends. So S can go on either side of a straight stroke, and F, instead of writing it like that or like that, FR, you can blend it together. So you compare it to S. So all you're doing is making a curved or more longer version of S to join it to the R. So SL, FL, SM, FM, SW, FW. And Teeline doesn't like, or Teeline Online, our company, we don't like students to have to think about drilling or remembering rules and regulations. The system is so logical that if you can just understand why something is written like that, then it'll come naturally. So you don't have to study lots of rules and so on. It's just going to come if you keep writing it and keep using it. And if you do it the other way, you can still write it the other way, and it's still going to be quicker for you than writing it in longhand. Okay, so that's all on the, one last blending, and I don't know how I forgot it because it's my favourite, and that's X. Now with X, you very rarely have to write the whole thing in full. the rest of the letter will form the rest of the X. So here with exhibit, I've written the first half of the X, and I've just put the B through it. What about hoax? If I wanted hoax, I slant the H towards the X, put the second half through, and there I've got the X formed by the H and the X and the second half. Tax. Exit. Exit, I've just put the T through. Now here's a nice one. Luxury. Now here's the L. I put the first part of the X through the L, and the second half gets formed automatically. And there's the I for Y. And with the word next, you can think of next as a special outline. Let's see what you need. You need the N, the X, and the T. And I can slant the N towards the X, write the X through it and add T, or just slant the N towards the X and put the T through, and I haven't even written X at all, just written an N and put the T through it, and there you have it, next. Okay, I'm going to finish off by showing you a few more special outlines and groupings, and then again we can finish off with a nice sentence for you to read. So remember I said that the more special outlines and groupings you can learn, the quicker you'll be, and then you can be selective and learn the ones that you think you're going to use regularly. So a big CM or CO is company. So you might want to pause this and while you take down the longhand versions of these, but again, of course, they're all in our lessons and they come up very regularly, and then they're more specialized. And part of our platinum service is actually designing shortcuts that you use regularly in your work or whatever you're going to use shorthand for, and we can design dictations and special outlines specifically for you. So BMN is businessman, so guess what, businesswoman is BWMN, and look how quick and easy that was to write. IMD is immediate, and if you want to put an I on the end for immediately you can, but the gist of the sentence will probably tell you what it is. ON and ONI, I missed off the top of the N to make it easier to write. One, and with the I only. RP is representative. So what about groupings? If you need to catch up, only if you need to catch up, and you want to join a few words together that are naturally said quickly, then you join them together. As soon as. It will be. It would be. You're using a little w for would. So would is represented by a little w at the end, and it can also represent ward as in forward, backwards, upward, and would as in WOOD. Okay, so I'm going to finish off by putting a sentence on the board. I want you to remember that at any time you can register for our online course and get all the services that we offer, including feedback and support, your assignments marked, one-to-one video lessons, and personalized dictations. And also look out for our live video lessons on the alphabet, which come up quite regularly, and then you can interact and ask any questions that you need to. And also you can have a one-to-one session with me where I can go through the course with you, discuss your work plan and study needs, and show you the services that we offer. So let's finish off with this sentence that I hope you can read quite easily. Let's try it in a different colour so it's clearer. A above the line is at, on the line it's A, and this is his. H slanted towards the I with an S on the end. Sorry about the squeaky sound effects. Now that's a long full stop at the end, and this word I'm going to leave you to work out from the gist of the sentence. You should be able to read it. So I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Look out for the last two coming up soon, and that will complete all the most of the theory, an overview anyway, and you can start using it straight away.